Hello, everyone. Today, we're exploring the special bond between two people who've shared so much over the years. Their connection, though quiet, is full of strength and depth. Let's see how their journey unfolds. Spring arrived. Everything began to sprout and bloom. Meanwhile, my mother was obsessed with pushing me to get married. I, on the other hand, followed the trend of going on blind dates just to humor her. My mom thinks everything is great, but she loves to compare. Since all of her friends' children became grandmothers, my mom hasn't said anything, but inside, she's been so anxious that her mouth is full of cold sores. Every morning, the first thing she asks is, "Do you have a boyfriend yet?" When I was little, I wanted to keep a dog. Mom, no way. Now, she wants a grandchild to carry. Me, no way. I'm only 25. But with the frequency at which she arranges 10 blind dates per week, anyone would think I was 55. She's hot-tempered, and I'm stubborn. To keep family harmony and avoid unnecessary mother-daughter wars, I went to every single blind date, and there was never any result. It's not that I'm picky. Mainly, the matchmakers nowadays don't know how to pick people. As long as you pay enough money, even a dead person could be turned into a top-tier catch. Every word she says could be broken down into a crime of fraud. Last time she said, he owns a company with tens of thousands of employees. When I arrived, I found out he kept bees. The time before that, she praised him, he's an excellent cook. When I got there, he only had one arm. The time before that, he's 1.8 meters tall and loves sports. When I arrived, it was like opening a Kinder Surprise egg. She tried to reason it out. Although he's only 1.6 meters tall, when he jumps, he reaches 1.8 meters. Me, She should not be a matchmaker. She should be selling pyramid schemes. And there were even worse ones. She said, "This guy is gentle, quiet. Turns out he's a vegetable. Not quiet, but unable to speak at all." The craziest thing was she introduced me to a guy who had once killed someone. And she confidently assured me, now he's reformed and won't kill anyone anymore. Look, when he came to meet you, did he kill me? In short, the reliability of this matchmaker equals 0. But my mother didn't believe me. She still insisted on setting up another blind date for me. As soon as I stepped out of the house, my mom called me via video call. With a knowing smile, she said, "Sweetheart, remember to dress well. This one is the real deal." I forced a smile. Hee hee. The matchmaker used to come up with a few stories. This time, she was too embarrassed to even lie. That's how top-tier the person must be. Mom saw my expression and frowned. "Move the phone a little farther. Let me see what you're wearing today." Since I once wore my grandmother's clothes to a blind date and scared the guy off, my mom wasn't at ease. I complied. A khaki coat, beige high heels. Mom nodded in approval. I saw the screen go black, and the corner of my mouth curled up into a cryptic smile. Mom has her tricks, and I have my own. Just showing up doesn't mean success. Scaring the other party away, that's my specialty. I adjusted my coat and buttoned it up tightly, letting a hint of red peek through inside. We arranged to meet at the cafe, Not for any special reason, but simply because I was very familiar with this place. I'd been there 7 or 8 times already. I arrived 5 minutes early. The other party messaged to say they had arrived. I looked around. From experience, the person who the matchmaker couldn't praise too much, they were definitely not ideal. Looking around, 2 bald heads. Oh, there's one more person. Looks good from behind. Black vest, tall and lean. I was about to choose one of the bald heads when a message came in. Table number 1, black shirt. I looked in that direction. It was the handsome guy from earlier, turning around. Sharp features, pale skin. Our eyes met. He raised an eyebrow. I quietly sat down. I'm Song Shi-wei. He extended his hand for a handshake, his hand beautiful with prominent veins. I'm Chen Hua-ji. I shuddered, quickly taking a sip of coffee in one go. It was so bitter, it numbed my tongue, but it did wake me up. To let him know that it was a lost cause, I took the initiative to attack. What did you study? I don't like people with low education. The last time the guy who wore a vest claimed to be about to graduate with a master's degree, I thought a bachelor's degree would be fine, but he said he only studied up to 5th grade. Chen Hua-ji sighed softly, seeming regretful. Just a PhD, and casually handed me his diploma. PhD in Computer Science, University of Oxford. I quietly folded it. I hit the iron head on. I quickly changed the subject. How many houses do you own? My family has so many relatives. After marriage, we all live together. Isn't that a sharp line? If my mom heard this, she'd want to slap me. He replied nonchalantly, Oh, I like a busy house. I have so many houses, I can't even live in them all. As he spoke, he pulled out a plastic bag, jingling keys. It felt like Lin Da-yu riding an exciter. I coughed. I only accept people over 1.80 meters tall. Last time someone said they were 1.80 meters tall, but they were shorter than me. He smirked. I don't know how tall the guy you met was, but the person sitting in front of you is 1.88 meters. Matchmaker, did you change your personality? This one is truly a gem. I gritted my teeth, trying to look serious. Actually, I can't have children. Isn't that a sharp line? But he looked surprised. Oh, what a coincidence. I don't have sperm either. He's a heavy hitter indeed. I closed my eyes, took off my jacket, revealing a bright red tight shirt with a Wangzai logo. There was a gasp around me. I boldly declared, The ones who laugh at me going crazy, I laugh at them not seeing through it. I love the Wangzai shirt. I looked at him, waiting for a reaction. He smiled lightly, then from under the table extended his leg. Shiny yellow Chelsea boots. I also love yellow Chelsea boots. I was speechless. I was just acting, but he looked so genuine. You're not fooling me, right? It's okay to admit defeat. He laughed so hard that it shook his body, his voice low. Can't do that. I was about to grab my bag and run when my phone rang. My mom's voice came through clearly. Sweetheart, how's YG? The boy's great. Really a match for you. When you were little, you always bullied him. You made Jubaji make him play Cao Sui Lan. The more I listened, the paler my face got. This tone, so familiar. Wait, Mom, wasn't it the matchmaker who introduced him? Mom scoffed. There's no way. When I look at the matchmaker's choice, I feel like throwing up. YG is the son of Aunt Chen from next door when we were little, just came back from abroad. old memories flooded back. I slowly looked up. Right in front of me was his face, full of interest and amusement. He bent down, his voice soft. Baji, calling out the nickname from our childhood. I immediately felt my face darken.
3. I'm not joking. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I really wouldn't have believed it. 10 years have passed, and a person can change this much? I've known him since I was 3, and by the time I was 15, we were living in different places. During all that time, he always appeared frail and sickly. Born prematurely, small and light, the slightest breeze could knock him over. On top of that, his handsome face and unnaturally pale skin. He was like the male version of Lin Dayu. The first time I met him was in the winter. At that time, Aunt Chen moved in next door to us, and finally we had a neighbour. My mum took some gifts and took me over to say hello. From afar, I could see a beautiful woman leading a tiny bundle of fluff. She looked like a fairy coming out of a painting, fair-skinned, chubby, wearing a fluffy, soft cloak that was both warm and cosy. I instinctively blurted out, "Wow, this little sister is so pretty." The little sister shivered slightly, her eyes filled with disbelief. Aunt Chen chuckled softly. She said his name was Chen Huaizhi, the same age as me, even born 2 days earlier. I stared at him. How come his 3-year-old self looked so different from mine? I was big and strong like a little bull, and he was tiny like a ball of dough. I innocently asked, "Aunt, are kids expensive? Why did the phone shop give you such a small one?" As I asked, I raised my pinky finger to illustrate. Once I made my mum so mad that she said I was the store's special offer. You recharge a lot and they give you a kid. Before my mum could cover my mouth, she could only smile awkwardly. Before Aunt Chen could say anything, the little sister yanked her hand away, lifted her chin and coldly snorted. "Idiot, you've been tricked. We clearly picked him up from the trash can." Aunt Chen, Mum. The two mums exchanged glances and silently turned away, covering their faces. But I was still very confident. I was so smart. How could my mum trick me? It was definitely him who had been tricked. Thinking that, I didn't hold it against the child. I lowered my head and gently patted his hair, comforting him. "It's okay. You're still young. It's normal for adults to trick you." I didn't know what I said that hit the mark, but he bit his lip, his eyes red, his thick eyelashes filled with tears. I was completely flustered. Suddenly remembering how my dad used to comfort my mum, I stepped forward and kissed his cheek. He blinked in confusion. Then his lips quivered and he burst into tears, crying out loud, "Wah! Mommy, she molested me!" Aunt Chen hugged him and soothed him, trying not to laugh. I sneakily looked at my mum. She took a deep breath, her cheeks twitching. I immediately grabbed my behind, knowing I was in deep trouble. I'd be in for a beating when I got home.
My mom didn't beat me, but she only gave me 1 bowl of rice. I'd rather she just beat me. 1 bowl wasn't enough to fill me up. I usually eat 3 bowls. Maybe it's a genetic mutation, but I'm a whole head taller than the other kids my age. I went to the doctor, and they said I was just developing early. Everything was fine, except for the fact that I ate too much. My mom kindly advised, "Sweetheart, listen to me. Eat a little less. You're growing so fast. Who would believe you're only 3? People would think you're 5. I sulked. "But I'm hungry. But if you keep eating like this, no other kids will want to play with you." That's right. They saw me looking like an adult, so no one wanted to play with me. But now, things are different. I have a little sister next door now. I'll play with her. "Mom, she's so small. Is it because she eats less?" My mom hesitated. Born prematurely, maybe she didn't get enough nutrition? I guess you could say that. I understand now. Thinking about how I made my little sister cry today, I secretly ran into my room, tucked my best friend Bao Bao into my coat, and ran over to the neighbor's house. My family raises pigs. Bao Bao is the baby of the pig mom Hua Hua, almost died during birth. I brought it home to raise, and I prepare milk for her every day. She's about a month old, white and plump, just like me. I knocked on the door. Aunt Lu opened it. I said I came to play with my little sister. Aunt Lu paused for a moment, then burst out laughing. Why, G, come out here and play with your sister. Serves you right for not eating your rice. My little sister was still mad, and when she saw me, her eyes started to fill with tears again, just like a leaking faucet. I reached out to wipe her tears. Hey, I'm sorry. Don't cry anymore. I'm giving you my best friend. Bao Bao in my arms squeaked. That got my little sister's attention, and she immediately stopped crying. I unzipped my puffy coat and pulled Bao Bao out to give her. I forgot Bao Bao was half the size of my sister. She took 2 steps back, stumbled, and sat down on the ground. Her lips puckered like a little duckling, about to cry again. I quickly covered her mouth. Introducing, this is Bao Bao. She blinked her eyes and gently poked Bao Bao's tail. Is this your pet you're giving me? I nodded, then shook my head. My mom says eat a lot and grow fast. When Bao Bao grows up, we can steam her, braise her, make soup. You should eat more too. It's really delicious. I said this while swallowing my saliva. She, silently pulling Bao Bao's tail behind her back. Seeing she had taken Bao Bao, I tilted my head and asked, "Did you forgive me?" She nodded slightly. Then we're good friends now, right? Her neck stiffened as she turned away, her face turning bright red. Who would want to be friends with you? Huh? Fine. Looks like I'm the big loser here. I gave away both my husband and lost a friend. It's okay. I'll ask you again tomorrow. From then on, I went to visit my little sister every day. I asked her if she wanted to be my best friend. I also gave her the only candy my mom allowed me to eat every day. She ate the candy, but she said she needed more time to think about being friends. My mom teased me, saying I was born with the quality of a licking dog. I didn't understand what licking dog meant, but my dad always said proudly, "It was because I persisted in pursuing your mom that I was able to marry her." He often repeated, "A licking dog always gets everything in the end." So, licking dog must be a good term. I stretched and puffed my chest. "Thank you, Mom, for the compliment." My mom laughed so hard she cried. I didn't understand why she was laughing. Anyway, I'm really smart. My little sister was the cutest girl I had ever met. Being friends with her would definitely make me shine. A month passed. I still brought candy to ask her if she would be my best friend. She swallowed and shook her head sadly. Covering her mouth, she said gloomily, "Sorry, we've been best friends for a long time, but I ate too many candies, kept tricking you into giving me more, and now I have a cavity. My mom says if I keep tricking you into giving me candy, she'll make me eat stir-fried bamboo shoots with meat." I was stunned. "Why do you talk like the wind got in your mouth?" She reluctantly pulled her hand away, revealing her decayed teeth. I shuddered. Gross. Luckily, I prefer meat to candy. Do you like stir-fried bamboo shoots with meat? Unlike her, picky and won't eat anything. I'm what my mom calls a sweet mouth. I eat everything. I'd even want to lick something on the street if it looked interesting. She responded sluggishly. It's delicious. So good it'll make you cry. My eyes brightened. I really want to try it. She frowned. Are you stupid? That's stir-fried butt with meat. Stir-fried butt with meat? Forget it. I won't try it anymore. I already get the taste. It's just like the dish stewed ears. It's all about blossoming butts.
After becoming best friends with my little sister, I couldn't resist showing off. So I took her to the park to find my usual group of friends. You don't want to play with me. I don't want to play with you either. Look at this. My best friend is even cuter than all of you. The result? Before I could even speak, they pointed at my little sister and laughed. Hey, the little peanut is out again. They were bullying my best friend. I immediately straightened up, gripping my little sister's hand tightly. Seeing this, my friends quickly took 2 steps back, then pointed at me, turning to ask my little sister, "Huh? This big person is the friend you're talking about?" My little sister puffed out her chest and proudly said, "Exactly. If you keep bullying me, she'll eat all of you. 1 meal, and she can eat 3 little kids at once." Just like a warning, borrowing the tiger's might from a picture book. My friends turned pale with fear. I was stunned. I only eat 3 bowls of rice. How did I become someone who eats 3 kids? I was about to explain, but they were so terrified, they huddled together, trembling, and yelled, Don't come near us. We're sorry, we won't bully her again." Then they ran off, heads down. My reputation was shattered. My little sister stood on tiptoe and lightly patted my back, comforting me. "It's okay. If they don't play with you, I will. We'll be best friends forever."
That afternoon, my little sister brought me a small bowl of rice to eat together. She asked, "Are we best friends now?" I nodded. She asked again, "Then can you help me eat a little bit?" Why? Her rice looked really delicious. I swallowed my saliva. But then I remembered what my mom said, eat a lot to grow taller. My little sister is too short. She needs to eat more. I hesitated, unsure. She grabbed my hand and shook it. "I can't finish it. There's too much. I can't waste it. You're my best friend, so can you help me share some?" My mom also told me not to waste food, so I nodded eagerly, bowed my head, and buried my face in her bowl, eating happily. I didn't see my little sister turn her face away, her hand covering her decayed tooth, secretly smiling proudly. From then on, every mealtime, she would bring her small bowl of rice over to find me. We'd sit on small chairs, eating while basking in the sun in the yard. Every time she brought her empty bowl home, she'd be praised. She was happy, and I was happy. My mom and Aunt Chen were very satisfied when they saw this, saying we were well-behaved, had grown up, and could eat on our own now. Until one afternoon, I was eating from my little sister's bowl, and she was squatting on the ground, playing with ants. Suddenly, a loud shout echoed, making her fall to the ground. My mom and Aunt Chen, each holding a chicken feather whip, looked furious. My mom yelled, "Song Shui, do you want to die?" Aunt Chen scolded, "Chen Huaiji, do you want to die?" My mom said, no wonder I was getting fatter, and my little sister was as skinny as a stick. Turns out, all the rice was going into my stomach. The 2 women exchanged knowing glances, and each dragged one of us back home. The next day, my little sister and I, each holding our sore behinds, pressed our faces against the window, staring at each other through the bars. From then on, we lost our freedom to eat rice. The day I found out my little sister wasn't actually a girl, it rained heavily, like the sky was pouring water. My little sister and I were playing in the yard, and in no time we were drenched like drowned rats. Aunt Chen took my sister and my mom took me, one side threatening to beat us, the other leading us to take a bath and change clothes. I broke free from my mom's hand, hugged Aunt Chen's thigh. I want to bathe with my little sister. The movie says best friends should do everything together. My little sister shook her head like a rattle, protesting fiercely. No, I'm a boy, you're a girl. I didn't believe it. My mom held the whip and explained for a while, and eventually I had to accept the truth. My beautiful best friend was a boy. I cried terribly. I couldn't accept that my cute little sister had turned into a weak older brother. According to my mom, I usually cry a lot, and it's annoying. But that day, I cried quietly as if I had lost my parents, so much that even she didn't have the heart to scold me. Aunt Chen's whole family really liked me. Seeing me sad, Uncle Leo said, "Well, you can marry Chen Huaiji later, and then the two of you can always play together." My dad immediately turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. I cried even louder. Chen Huaiji was so weak, I didn't want to marry him. "Then let me marry you." He used his hand to wipe my tears, his expression serious. I guess that's fine." I immediately stopped crying. This time, Uncle Leo's face turned as dark as the bottom of a pot. My dad stood by laughing hysterically. I thought someday Chen Huaiji would marry me, and we could always be best friends. Just thinking about it made me happy. I heard that married couples walk their dogs at night. I took Chen Huaiji to the park to walk Yuan Yuan. She was a spotted pig. She was the daughter of Bao Bao, born just last month. Passers-by saw the two of us walking a pig, and everyone laughed. Two older people said, "Really country." I had never heard that word before. Chen Huaiji hadn't either, but he said he's seen a soft-shelled turtle, a species that lives a long time, with a shell as hard as iron, probably a good reference. I said, "Well, I'm the princess of the soft-shelled turtles." He replied, "Then I'm the prince of the soft-shelled turtles." Passers-by. Because of my build, I looked like the type of person who would bully others, while Chen Huaiji seemed like the one who would be bullied. So, the parents from both families were uneasy. When we were little, we didn't go to kindergarten, but had a private tutor at home. It wasn't until elementary school that we started attending school. Once out of sight of our parents, Chen Huaiji was like a wild horse that had its reins loosened, and his true nature showed. I was secretly lazy with my studies, while he wore his hate studying attitude like a neon sign. We had the same allowance. I had all the necessary school supplies. He didn't even have a backpack. He picked up pens discarded by classmates, used my eraser, and used a single piece of scrap paper for the whole week. Haagen-Dazs was 58 yuan, and he bought it for me every day without blinking. A 5 yuan notebook, he'd rather die than buy it. Didn't even want to look at it. His life motto, if it's related to studying, there's no money. Back then, we used notebooks to fold into pineapple flowers and firecrackers. Because he didn't want to waste paper, he tore up the textbooks to fold them, filling an entire desk drawer. If he wasn't afraid of getting beaten, he probably would have torn up my books too. That's when I realized why Aunt Chen always scolded him for looking well-behaved and decent. That refined face was purely for decoration. It had nothing to do with his real personality. I worried about schoolwork. He worried about fighting. We joined the older kids to play marbles, play cards, and collect stickers. When we got bored, we sold our used stuff for a profit. He even once convinced me to skip school and catch worms, sneak up trees, and fish. The result: the money tree the principal planted was stripped bare, and the goldfish in the tank were shocked to death, 2 of them. The principal said, "If it wasn't for the fact that he looks so cute, I would have beaten him a long time ago." Every day, our clothes looked like we'd been rolling in the fields like cows. And some days, they were torn to shreds. My mom suspected I wasn't going to school, but going to special forces training. One time, the teacher called us up to ask, "What do your parents do for a living?" He answered, "Mine dig mines." I said, "They raise pigs." The teacher smiled and comforted us. Labor is glory. Then she patted Chung Hwai-ji's head and handed us 2 scholarship application forms. He was confused. "Miss, my family digs private coal mines." The teacher. She seemed to want to say something, but stopped, then turned and handed the form to me. I answered, "Miss, my family raises 300,000 pigs." The teacher. Every day, we went to school without worrying about studying. No matter how hard we tried to hide it, we were eventually exposed by our grades. The scoring system was out of 100. I got 50, and he got 25. At first, Aunt Chen and my mom came to parent-teacher meetings. Later, there were so many meetings that everyone started avoiding them. Aunt Chen said, "From now on, Chung Hwai-ji will be part of the Song family. You go ahead." My mom said, "From now on, my daughter will also call you Mom. You go ahead." In the end, both of them got more and more upset. If we're not one family, then we're not going through the same door. So they decided to beat us both equally. After becoming best friends with my little sister, I couldn't resist showing off, so I took her to the park to find my usual group of friends. "You don't want to play with me? I don't want to play with you either. Look at this. My best friend is even cuter than all of you." The result? Before I could even speak, they pointed at my little sister and laughed. "Hey, the little peanut is out again." They were bullying my best friend. I immediately straightened up, gripping my little sister's hand tightly. Seeing this, my friends quickly took 2 steps back, then pointed at me, turning to ask my little sister, "Huh? This big person is the friend you're talking about?" My little sister puffed out her chest and proudly said, "Exactly. If you keep bullying me, she'll eat all of you. 1 meal and she can eat 3 little kids at once." Just like a warning borrowing the tiger's might from a picture book. My friends turned pale with fear. I was stunned. I only eat 3 bowls of rice. How did I become someone who eats 3 kids? I was about to explain, but they were so terrified they huddled together trembling and yelled, "Ah, don't come near us. We're sorry. We won't bully her again." Then they ran off heads down. My reputation was shattered. My little sister stood on tiptoe and lightly patted my back, comforting me. "It's okay. If they don't play with you, I will. We'll be best friends forever." That afternoon, my little sister brought me a small bowl of rice to eat together. She asked, "Are we best friends now?" I nodded. She asked again, "Then can you help me eat a little bit?" Why? Her rice looked really delicious. I swallowed my saliva. But then I remembered what my mom said, "Eat a lot to grow taller." My little sister is too short. She needs to eat more. I hesitated, unsure. She grabbed my hand and shook it. "I can't finish it. There's too much. I can't waste it. You're my best friend, so can you help me share some?" My mom also told me not to waste food, so I nodded eagerly, bowed my head, and buried my face in her bowl, eating happily. I didn't see my little sister turn her face away, her hand covering her decayed tooth, secretly smiling proudly. From then on, every mealtime, she would bring her small bowl of rice over to find me. We'd sit on small chairs, eating while basking in the sun in the yard. Every time she brought her empty bowl home, she'd be praised. She was happy, and I was happy. My mom and Aunt Chen were very satisfied when they saw this, saying we were well-behaved, had grown up, and could eat on our own now. Until one afternoon, I was eating from my little sister's bowl, and she was squatting on the ground, playing with ants. Suddenly, a loud shout echoed, making her fall to the ground. My mom and Aunt Chen, each holding a chicken feather whip, looked furious. My mom yelled, "Song Shui, do you want to die?" Aunt Chen scolded, "Chen Huaiji, do you want to die?" My mom said, "No wonder I was getting fatter, and my little sister was as skinny as a stick. Turns out all the rice was going into my stomach." The 2 women exchanged knowing glances, and each dragged one of us back home. The next day, my little sister and I, each holding our sore behinds, pressed our faces against the window, staring at each other through the bars. From then on, we lost our freedom to eat rice. Chen Huizhi's expression went through 3 stages: surprise, shock, despair. It was like acting without acting. I put on the pig head, tiptoed, and rushed forward, shouting, "Tui-lan, Brother Baji is here." He instinctively took 2 steps back, turned, and ran like crazy. "Monster, you stay away from me!" I chased him, he ran. The stage was in chaos. We chased all the way to behind the stage. The audience clapped like a storm, and the school leaders laughed uncontrollably. "Oh my God, what a pair of enemies from heaven!" Our class won first place. The video performance was even shown on the local channel. The MC commented, "One acted out all the lecherousness of Jubaiji. The other clearly portrayed all the emotions of Tui Lan, shy, panicked, and embarrassed." From then on, whenever my friends saw me, they'd tease me. They all called Chen Huizhi my little husband from childhood and said he looked like a girl. He was so angry that he didn't talk to me for days, even pretended to be sick and didn't go to school. I mimicked him, told my mom I had a stomach ache. She immediately took me to the hospital for an exam. The The doctor pressed on my stomach, and I told him it hurt there. He asked, "Does it hurt on the right side?" I didn't think about it. I nodded. As a result, I was immediately taken to the operating table. When I woke up from anesthesia, I saw Chen Huizhi sitting beside my bed, looking at me with a complicated expression. He sadly said, "From now on, you won't be able to become a pilot anymore." That day, Chen Huizhi forgave me. But I also lost my appendix. Maybe he was worried I would think too much. Chen Huizhi stayed by my side for a whole month, taking care of me better than my mom. Chen YG developed physically slowly, but he matured mentally much earlier than I did. It wasn't until I actually reached puberty that I understood why every time others teased him about marrying me, he would turn bright red and get angry. It turned out that the playful promise from our childhood was only something I took seriously. So I told my mom, I don't want to marry Chen YG. After all, he could never really marry me. My mom teased me. So, what kind of person do you like? I counted on my fingers. Tall, strong, smart, a good cook. In general, not like him at all. Each bullet point was the opposite of Chen YG. I did it on purpose. Who told him to always act unwilling, as if I was a discarded thing not worthy of him? Clearly, he was the one who first said he'd marry me. At that moment, the door opened, and he was standing right outside, his eyes full of resentment and hurt, his voice filled with anger. Chen YG, it looks like I've been mistaken. All these years, it's been a love that was placed in the wrong spot. The next day, Chen YG came to say goodbye. He said Aunt Chen and Uncle Lu were going abroad for business cooperation. My mom then told me the truth. It was because he insisted on going to rest. He declared boldly, 30 years in the East, 30 years in the West. Just wait and see. And he scolded me for being ungrateful, for having a lowly view of people. Angry, I blocked all communication from him. That year, we were only 15. One farewell, and 10 years were lost. I waited and waited. Eventually, I wasn't angry anymore, and almost forgot about him altogether.